don't skate it every day, but like most days before work.
I'd definitely say that my love for skateboarding and surfing started when I was in 5th grade. And now being a 5th grade teacher, you kind of do this full circle thing where a lot of it kind of comes back to you and you're like, wait, when I was in 5th grade, this is what I was doing. I was over at the whiteboard and I got, I'm gonna build a mini ramp. I'm gonna build a mini ramp, and it's gonna be right here where these pods of desks are, and it's gonna take up room, but the ramp's gonna be open space that I can use for the kids. And then it's like, it just went from there. I definitely never thought I was gonna be a teacher at any grade level, and these past 3 years of teaching, I started kind of going back to me when I was in 5th grade, right down to how I wanted to feel when I was in the classroom. So I wanted to start thinking about things that I could do to kind of give my 5th graders this year the same feelings that I had when I was in school. Just something that's memorable or something that kind of clicks with them. And you know, and it's not that I'm trying to push surfing and skateboarding on these kids. It's more so of just that movement aspect of what skateboarding and surfing does. There's definitely a lot of kids out there that benefit from activities like that don't cost a lot of money. And I thought, what's something that I can do that's a bold response to kind of where we are as like a generation now, with a culture of kids that, you know, yeah, it's cool, like there's kids that are skateboarding and surfing, but you know, there's also a lot of kids that are on their video games and on their phones. I got to think of some things that I can do in my practice that are just at least, you know, trying to motivate kids to just think differently about what they're doing outside of school. So the process, although it was a little challenging, just not only kind of building it and getting it in here, but being able to keep it in here, you know, that was kind of something that I had to fight for. And it's kind of funny how that worked out, because it was about the first week of school, I got this email that basically said, hey, you can't have that in there. So I literally stood on the ramp and I told my students, I said, hey, I just got an email that said, you know, we've got 10 days left to basically come up with a plan for me to be able to keep this in here. And as I said that, the kids, of course, they're raising their hand, you know, my dad can do this or my mom can do that. And it was pretty cool to have a nice community of parents that sort of backed me on it, because they thought it was pretty rad. Like, they're like, dude, you know, what? No, all we need to do is do this, and then they'll be cool with this. So that was kind of like the big hurdle right there, was just keeping it so that all of the adults are cool with it. I definitely couldn't have done it all by myself. I mean, it wouldn't be in here if it wasn't for this positive backing from families and friends. The thing with the ramp that's kind of funny is kids are just drawn to it. Like the first day of school, like their eyes went there, you know. And that was kind of a cool moment, because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I didn't know if they were just gonna come in here and just start running around on it, but they actually kind of came in and they're like, all right, like there's a ramp in here. And we sat down on that first day and we just kind of like jumped right into it. This will be my 2nd year. I'm going into my 2nd year with it right now, and learning how to use the ramp as a tool for teaching, it's been kind of cool too. And just today it was kind of funny, because I had this group with me, like we were doing math, and there were 6 kids, and there was a girl who was sitting in the back, but she was up the ramp. So she was able to see directly over the kid's head. I was like, oh, that's kind of rad. Like, she can clearly see me right now. And as I was speaking, I kind of noticed my voice was like really crystal clear. And for whatever reason, being in the room and how the ramp's curved, my voice almost channels directly down the room. But if I get off the ramp, it kind of goes a little more like muffled again. Like the ramp, in a way, it's kind of like this magnet. The kids are drawn to it. They just go over there and they just start talking. And I don't know if it's just like the unevenness of the foundation, or the flow of the ground, or what it is, but just having that change, I think it kind of just inspires kids to just move a little bit, even if it's like during their brain break. Like, I've seen kids doing like full-on pull-ups on it, you know? And I look at the kids, I'm like, dude, like, that's a kid that plays a bunch of video games. He needs to be doing this right now for the next 2 minutes. And then we have to go back to the learning or the math or whatever it is. It really is like that social emotional aspect of it, where kids are, you know, hopefully coming to school knowing like that I really care about you. You know, the ramp, like, I love skateboarding. I love having this in here, but mostly it's like seeing the kids' faces and seeing the kids interact on it and seeing them move around on it. And more I'm finding out more ways to use it as an actual teaching tool. And just, again, it's like it goes so far beyond skateboarding.